My mom took my entire $13,800 furniture set while I was at work and gave it to my sister as a gift. Yeah. I found out when I came home to an empty living room and a smug text from her saying, "You didn't really need it anyway, sweetheart." My hands were literally shaking. Everything I had worked double shifts for, gone. Just like that. If this made your heart drop, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, because what happened next will leave you speechless. I stood there, staring at the hollow space where my couch, dining table, and TV stand once stood. My sister, Madison, was grinning in the family group chat, sending pictures of my furniture in her new apartment. My mom even commented, "It looks so much better in Madison's place," like it was some family joke. For years, they've treated me like the poor one. I was the quiet daughter who didn't go to college right away, who worked in a furniture store to pay bills. They laughed when I told them I was saving for my own home. They called me Miss Independent, mocking my every effort. But I stayed silent, building my dream piece by piece, literally. I wanted to scream that I wasn't poor anymore, that I had just bought my own house last month. But I bit my tongue, because if they thought I was still that helpless girl, then they were about to learn the most expensive lesson of their lives. The next morning, I received a call that flipped the entire game, and it wasn't from my mom. It was from someone who had the power to turn their gift into their biggest regret yet. It was a call from the furniture store manager, the same one I'd worked for 3 years ago. "Adeline," he said, "your furniture warranty papers and ownership receipts still have your name and address. Someone tried to update them under Madison's name, but legally it's still all yours." I froze. My mom and sister didn't just take my furniture, they were trying to claim it. I could feel my blood boiling, but instead of yelling, I smiled. Because right then, a crazy idea hit me. If you think this story's wild already, wait till you see what Adeline does next. Make sure to stick around. That evening, I texted my mom, pretending nothing happened. "Hey Mom, can we do dinner tomorrow? I have some big news." She replied instantly, "Of course, honey. We'll all celebrate at Madison's new place." The irony almost made me laugh. When I arrived the next day, Madison opened the door, wearing a smug grin. "Don't mind the furniture, Addie," she said, sipping her wine. "It's just so perfect for my vibe." My mom joined in, saying, "Sweetheart, don't take it personally. Madison's new apartment needed it more." I looked around the room, my furniture gleaming under her expensive lights. Every single item I had worked overtime for, sitting in someone else's house, being paraded like a trophy. My heart pounded, but I kept my cool. I sat down on my couch, smiled, and said softly, "You know, Mom, Madison, there's something I need to tell you both." Their faces lit up, expecting me to apologize or maybe announce some new struggle. But they had no idea the words about to come out of my mouth would wipe those smirks clean off their faces forever. I took a deep breath and looked right at them. "Actually," I said calmly, "I came here because I wanted to congratulate you both. You just became part of a legal mess worth exactly $13,800. My mom's smile froze midair. Madison frowned, confused. "What are you talking about?" she snapped, her voice already defensive. I leaned back on my couch, tapping the armrest gently. "You see, the entire furniture set you borrowed still legally belongs to me. Every receipt, warranty, and ownership document has my name and serial code attached, which means, technically, you're sitting on stolen property." For a few seconds, silence swallowed the room. My mom blinked fast, trying to process my words. Madison laughed nervously. "You wouldn't actually do anything about it, right?" "We're family," I smirked. "Family doesn't break into someone's house and clear it out while they're at work. That's not love, Madison. That's theft." Her face turned red. My mom's voice cracked as she said, "Adeline, you're overreacting. You're doing fine. You don't need all this stuff." I leaned forward, my voice calm but sharp. "You're right, Mom. I don't need it anymore. But it's not about need. It's about respect. Something both of you lost the moment you decided my hard work was a joke. If you've ever been betrayed by your own family, you know that silence burns louder than shouting. Stay till the end, because the revenge part hits different." Madison rolled her eyes. "You're just jealous that my apartment looks better. You're always trying to prove something." I smiled. "Oh, trust me, I don't need to prove anything. I've been building something quietly for years, while you were too busy pretending to be better than everyone else." My mom crossed her arms. Building what, Adeline? You still work at that little shop, don't you? I couldn't help but laugh. That little shop? Yeah, about that. I pulled out my phone and showed them an email, the official transfer papers confirming that I had bought that entire furniture business 2 months ago. Their eyes widened instantly. I now own the company, I said slowly. So technically, Madison, everything in this apartment, from the couch to that coffee table, belongs to my store. And guess what? I just decided to cancel the sale, which means... I paused for effect, watching Madison's jaw tighten. You have 48 hours to return every single piece. Madison jumped up, furious. You can't do that, she screamed. You're bluffing. I turned my phone screen toward her again. The official business license with my name. Adeline Brooks, owner. Her expression shattered. My mom's lips trembled. Why didn't you tell us? I smiled faintly. Because every time I tried to share good news, you both made me feel small. You called me broke, useless, invisible. So I stayed quiet. I let you believe I was struggling while I built my future. I guess silence really does make people underestimate you. Madison slumped onto the couch, her confidence gone. My mom's voice softened. Adeline, we didn't mean to hurt you. But it was too late. I stood up and said, You didn't hurt me, Mom. You taught me. You taught me who actually deserves access to my success, and who doesn't. I walked toward the door, but before leaving I turned back and added, By the way, that dining table you're so proud of? The pickup truck will be here tomorrow morning to collect it. Their stunned faces were the sweetest payback I could have ever asked for, but the real twist came later that week, when Madison's landlord called me directly. 3 days later, I got a call that made me laugh out loud in the middle of work. Madison's landlord wanted to discuss furniture ownership. Apparently, Madison had bragged so much about her designer collection that the landlord decided to feature her apartment in a luxury living magazine. But when the verification team called the store, my store, to confirm the furniture details, the call came straight to me. And if you thought karma doesn't exist, just wait, because this part is pure poetic justice. I played it cool and said, Oh yes, that furniture belongs to our premium series. Though, technically, it's still under my ownership because the last payment was never completed. The line went dead silent for a second. Then the man asked politely, So, should we cancel her feature? I smiled. No need to cancel. Just make sure the credit line in the article says, All furniture courtesy of Adeline Brooks Home Interiors. 2 days later, the article went live. The photos looked stunning, my furniture shining under perfect studio lights. But the caption? It read exactly as I requested. Madison's name wasn't even mentioned. My phone buzzed nonstop afterward, relatives sending me screenshots, coworkers cheering, and old friends saying, You did it, Addie. Finally! By evening, my mom called me in tears. Why would you embarrass your sister like that? She asked. I sighed. Mom, I didn't embarrass her. She embarrassed herself when she stole from me. I just corrected the record. Madison called right after, furious. You ruined me, Adeline. Everyone's laughing at me. I said quietly. You ruined yourself the moment you decided my hard work was your free gift. And before she could reply, I hung up. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like the quiet, underestimated daughter. I felt powerful. But I wasn't done yet, because that night something unexpected happened. My store's website exploded with orders. People had read the article, connected my name, and started buying my furniture like crazy. I hit record sales in 48 hours. Reporters reached out, asking for interviews. One of them even said, It's inspiring how you turned family betrayal into business success. I laughed and told her, Sometimes, losing what you built just shows you how strong you've become. A week later, I got invited to a local business gala to receive an award for Young Entrepreneur of the Year. Guess who showed up uninvited, standing near the entrance in awkward silence? My mom and Madison. Their faces were pale when they saw me walk up to the stage, everyone clapping, cameras flashing. But they had no idea that the biggest twist of all was still waiting, one that would make them finally understand what respect really costs. The night of the gala, I stepped onto the stage with my award in hand, my heart pounding. Not from nerves, but from the satisfaction of knowing how far I'd come. The crowd cheered, lights flashed, and cameras clicked. I scanned the room and froze for a second when I saw Mom and Madison sitting in the back, whispering to each other, their confidence completely gone. I had one more move left. The final twist that would make them regret ever underestimating me. After my acceptance speech, I casually mentioned I'd like to thank my family for inspiring me, especially those who doubted me, laughed at me, and even stole from me. Without that, I wouldn't have discovered how strong and unstoppable I really am. A murmur went through the crowd. Cameras turned toward them. Their whispers turned to panic. Madison tried to protest, but the event coordinator politely asked her to remain silent. My mom's cheeks burned red, and she looked like she wanted to disappear. Then came the real kicker. I announced, and just to make sure everyone knows, my store will be providing exclusive furniture to this gala's venue for the next year. All items are owned and designed by me, Adeline Brooks. The room erupted into applause, reporters rushing to take pictures of my products beautifully arranged. Mom and Madison's jaws dropped. People whispered about how the quiet daughter had not only reclaimed her furniture, but had turned a stolen opportunity into nationwide recognition. Walking down from the stage, I felt a sense of triumph I'd never imagined. My underdog story had transformed into a story of empowerment, revenge, and ultimate respect. I didn't need to yell, argue, or make threats. The proof was in my success, my poise, and the fact that everyone in that room now knew exactly who I was. Later that night, I received a text from Mom. Adeline, I'm sorry. We were wrong. You've proven yourself in ways we never imagined. I smiled, typing back one simple line. It's okay, Mom. Just remember, respect isn't given. It's earned. That night I went home, sat on my own couch, surrounded by my own furniture in my own home, and felt the most satisfying victory of my life. Every betrayal, every sneer, every underestimation had led to this moment. And I knew one thing for certain. No one would ever doubt Adeline Brooks again.